Hi, everyone. I'm here today to introduce the new series that I'm going to be doing for all the zodiac signs. This one will be a reading to find out how these next 3 years of your life are going to be impacted, the central theme of these next 3 years of your life. If you are not aware, and my astrology that I put out every Sunday on the 15th, 4/15, we entered a 3-year period of time in which Pisces is being schooled by the sign of Saturn. So it's kind of like the oppression of the energy of Pisces. Now, what you should know about this. First of all, we've been in the age of Pisces since around 50 BCE, and we will be transitioning into the age of Aquarius and solidifying the age of Aquarius at 2100. Okay. It seems like a far way away because we're like 75 years away from actually being in 2100. But that means that we are currently in this 100-year cycle from 2000 to 2100 of the shift into the age of Aquarius. The first 25 years was the concession, let's say that concession of the sign of Pisces giving the crown to the age of Aquarius. And this is the reason why we saw so much divisiveness, so much turbulence, and so much ugly. Then from 25 to 50, we're going to go into this transition where our physical world will be affected as we enter into the new rules of the age of Aquarius. And then we're going to go from 50 to 75, where we are going to see the impact of our social emotional frameworks. So relationship skills, connections, so forth, so stuff, that stuff that has to do with your emotional body, and that will be shifting into the age of Aquarius. Another large shift that will be causing a lot of chaos. And then finally, from 75 to 100 is when we enter into the psychic world, where our minds are and our spirit is being affected by the age of Aquarius. And then we're solidified the age of Aquarius. So why I'm telling you this is because these first 3 years is the giving up of the crown. We're actually entering into what the Bible talks about in the age of, in the book of Revelations of the 7 years of darkness. This is the first 3 years, and then we're going to go into another 4-year cycle, which is like, that shift. Okay, so you have to think of 7, very important because it represents every single one of our energy centers. So if you're going from the base all the way to the crown, it's not until the 7th year that we finally are free from all the confinements of the age of Pisces. What does the age of Pisces mean? You have to think of the age of Pisces as the two fish. This is when there was a separation between the yin and the yang, where there are perceived differences between white and black and good and bad and right and wrong, kind of a separation. And then because of that separation, there was a lot of deceit because as you saw the yin and yang, there was a lot of yin inside the yang and a lot of yang inside the yin, right? So there's darkness, hidden darkness in people. There's masks that they were wearing. There was lies and deceit. As we're entering into the age of Aquarius, what we're doing is that we're moving into a season in which your external world and the way people view you and everything will be what your internal world truly is. There is no more hiding. And I've explained this over and over again for a while, but a lot of people are not understanding. There are some people that are already receiving the impacts of being seen. Some of them are very negative and some of them are really positive. It depends on what side of the spectrum you are. So this series will be focusing on this. This introduction video will be in every single one of them. So people are aware as to what it is that I'm focusing on. We will see how it will affect your light aspect. In other words, the sun, what you can see in your life and what you will know on your 3D reality. And then we're going to be looking at your dark aspect and the moon aspect, which is your subconscious. And then we're also going to be looking at the thing you will be confronting because we will be looking at your double energy. So I hope this is very informative and it helps you guys to understand why you're feeling how you're feeling these next 3 years, as it is a huge shift that is happening in the collective. Thank you for being part of the family and always subscribing. Thank you for checking out my website and subscribing to my newsletter there, where I send out a email every week on the astrology. And thank you for being interested in the services that I provide. All of you guys have been a blessing to me and a blessing to this channel, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's start our message. Hi, everyone of the sign of Gemini. So I'm going to start off with shuffling the deck 4 times, and I'm going to make sure they're really nicely mixed. And I also have some charms and runes and things like that in this chest in front of me. So I'm going to pull out at least one of those energies so that we can find out the overall energy of 2025 in the next 3 years. So let's see. Oh, you got so many. I hate that when I pull too many. Anyways, let me move this here so you can see how they played out. So they landed like that on my table. This one over here, which is far apart from all the other group, the trilogy down here. This is the Hamsana hand. Oh, I could put it up. Okay, in the center, this one doesn't have an eye. This one has a star, a pentacle. Oh, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Whatever, you're going to have to trust me. Anyway, so this is talking about protection from a distance, okay? The second thing that I see here is the 2 dolphins. And this is talking about connecting to happiness and joy and to your quad, to your pod, to your soul family. The other thing I see is the energy of Libra. So right off the bat, I can tell you that it might be wise for you to see the reading of Libra when it comes out. But this is also talking about divine justice and balance entering your life. And then you got one gold one. And the gold ones have to do with your subconscious and your spiritual self. The other ones have to do with your 3D life. And you have a key. The key is talking about receiving access to something. Okay? So really interesting. Right off the bat, we have the devil. And let's find the sun and the moon. Here's the moon. Interestingly enough, I'm already seeing a lot of pentacles here. So this is about your finances and your money, your material world. And the sun. Hopefully it's not the last card. And it sure is the last card. So I'm going to take the last 3. 1, 2, 3. Holy shit. And I'm going to take 4 because that one wants to be there. Actually 5 because this is insane. I have to show you this because it's insane. Okay. So you know how I told you the sun is the last card? Well, right after the sun, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. If you want to talk about an energy of shift, this is it. You have so many major arcanas slapped in your 3D life. I can tell you that the person, your life, how you know it right now, will absolutely not be how it will be in the end of these 3 years. Okay, because major arcanas are a huge depiction of God's hand on your life. Oh, shut up. We have the Hamsana hand in a distance. That's crazy. Anyways, the Hansana hand in the distance. So I am seeing God's hand in your life. This is, and it's going to be very physical and it's going to be very apparent to you. And there is not going to be any doubt that like some source outside of you is working in your favor, even if you know it or not. Okay. So let's go down the line with the sun. The first thing that comes out is the Lovers. So this is talking about a connection to, I want to say something else or someone else. Okay. This can easily be you finding a partner if you don't have one. This can be your relationship getting stronger, and this can be the choice of doing so. The third thing that comes is the Judgment card. This is something that was asleep coming to life. Then we have the Temperance card, moving away dark energy and transmuting it to something lighter. Then we have the Emperor card, taking authority and ownership of your life. And then we have the High Priestess and awakening to a learning in the spiritual realm. This is the key. So what I'm seeing here is you're going to create a connection to a second person. This connection is going to awaken something inside of you that was dormant. In it awakening, it helps you get the key, the tools that you need to transmute your life. This is the two dolphins that I see, like the happy dolphins, the two squads together. This is the Lovers card, okay? And then this is bringing balance into your life, which is the Judgment and the Temperance card. But then in the balance, I'm seeing you taking authority and ownership of your life, no longer crying about, oh, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, I can't do anything for myself, blah, 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 blah. That's over. And then you get into this energy of there's like an awakening happening in your spirit. Big shifts. And you're going to feel them and you're going to see them. I see like a whole 360 of your life in these next 3 years. Then in the moon, subconscious things that are happening. Okay. We have the first thing right off the bat is the Queen of Pentacles. After the Queen of Pentacles is the energy of the Fool, another major arcana. Then after that is the energy of the Page of Cups. So what I am seeing here is an awakening of your divine feminine energy in a very materialistic way. So the Queen of Pentacles is very practical, very, very materialistic. And so because she's showing up in your subconscious, this is an awakening of your divine feminine energy that will actualize in your 3D world. So the reason all these positive changes are happening in your life is because your energy of abundance, of creation, and of multiplication is starting to expand. Then we're seeing you walking into a whole new aspect when it comes to your spiritual realm. This is the key, access to the key that also depicts the High Priestess. I'm seeing this closer to the end of the 3 years. And then other surprises are going to reveal themselves during the time of the Page of Cups. Why? Because when we've seen an opening of the door, right? When we receive a key, when we receive access, what is going to happen is that they throw everything at you to see how you will react to them and if you're ready to receive other gifts. So the Page of Cups showing up here tells me that not only your divine feminine energy awakens, but there's a potential for other things to awaken within you, depending on how you react to these massive shifts that are going to be happening in your 3D world. Okay. Keep in mind, massive shifts also means massive chaos, stress, anxiety, because you no longer have the mundane that and the routine that creates false sense of control. Okay? The devil that you will be confronting. The devil. The first thing comes out is your 10 of Pentacles. The second thing that comes out is the 7 of Pentacles. And the third thing that comes out is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so as I'm looking at that, we have the energy of family. We have the energy of inheritance. We have the energy of, again, money. Okay, the second thing we see is the energy of waiting for your ship to come in, having to tend your garden and things that having manifesting. Temperance is all about patience. The devil is all about not having patience with the 7 of Pentacles showing up there. And then the third thing is the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're going to have to learn how to cool your impulses, cool your explosive personality, cool that way that you overreact or you explode when there's too much stress on you. So I would, in these next 3 years, work on things that bring me down from my angry high. I would learn the energy of patience. Meditation feels very strong here for me. Meditations, yoga, something that has to do with coming into peace with yourself. And family has a lot to do with this too. So keep in mind that when we're shifting our lives, you have for the entirety of your life been a cornerstone to your family dynamic. It doesn't matter if it's your immediate family, if it's the family you're created through friends and connections, it does not matter. But there is this, I want to say, established family that you have created that you are their cornerstone. The way that you are and what services you provide to the family, it has been a staple to that family. The fact that you're moving away or you're doing what you're doing, like shifting such a huge, massive part of yourself, means you're no longer going to fit that role. It takes a little bit for people to get used to things, and it also makes people, depending on if they're evolved spiritually or not, act very stupid. So keep that in mind, because I feel like your devil will be the family units you have, your lack of your frustration for things going too slow, and then the third thing would be your explosive personality. So if you keep those in check, everything will move a little bit smoother. But there's a lot going on. I hope you guys are ready, because a lot of major arcanas like that, this is a massive shift for your soul, but it's a massive shift for your 3D world more. So here I don't see so much soul shift as I do your physical world literally taking a 360. All right, get ready. We'll see you the next time.